Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me, 10 to 13 students. I hope you've been following us, and I hope you continue to follow us on our webinars. So last night, I decided to not count the days of the quarantine, but to start counting down. So every time I begin a webinar, I will update you on the countdown to the end of the quarantine to the very precise second. As of right now, there are 23 days, 12 hours, 59 minutes, and 17 seconds until we can leave our houses, have fun again, see each other, and go back to our normal lives. So only 23 days, that's 3 weeks. Think about how short 3 weeks are in reality. What keeps you motivated in this time? How are you handling this situation, both mentally and physically? Me personally, I'm trying to exercise every day. I'm trying to work and do as many webinars as possible. I'm trying to keep in touch with my family and friends via the phone. And I'm trying to think about what it will be like when we can go back outside. So imagining how happy we're going to be to finally go to the bar and get a coffee, how happy we're going to be to take the metro, which I never thought I would say that, but I'm going to be so grateful to take public transport. And just thinking about how life will be normal again, and that really raises my spirits, as we say. And, raises my spirits. So this expression in English means when you're feeling down, when you're feeling blue, to raise your spirits is when something makes you happy. It's when it brings you out of that depression. So for anyone watching, again, if you have questions, if you have comments, you can write in the comments section and I will see them and we can interact through the comments. So how are you staying sane in this time? To rise up. Elisabetta, hi. So yeah, to rise up your mood, to raise your mood, to make you happy. How are you keeping your spirits raised? How are you raising your spirits in this time? Can anyone tell me what you're doing to stay sane? How do you stay sane? Sane in English refers to mental stability, okay? It's a false friend. So if we're saying, I'm staying sane by doing yoga, it means I'm staying mentally stable, okay? Okay. So yes, if you want to tell me how you are passing the time in these days, how you are feeling, just write in the comments, okay? So Elisabetta says, I'm still sane now, but I don't know in the future. Right. So again, we still have 3 weeks of a quarantine. So let's try to keep calm and do what we can to maintain our mental health. Ilaria says, I'm raising my spirits, cooking cakes and listening to music. Good. So cooking cakes can also be a hobby to help us pass the time. Lavinia takes walks in the park. Absolutely. It's important to stay outside, even if we're supposed to minimize how often we go outside. It's important to be in nature. And also cooking cakes. Very good. It's a good hobby. I'm raising my spirits playing violin. Yes, good. Yeah, so we're maintaining our hobbies. That's very important in these times. Good. Maybe in the next few weeks, we will have time to start more hobbies. So we can find some more hobbies and more things to do within the next few weeks that we are at home. It's actually a good opportunity to expand our hobbies and expand our typical schedule. So it's good also. What helps raise my spirits is to see this as an opportunity and not as an obstacle, right? Easier said than done, as we say. In English, we have also this expression, easier said than done. I say, it's good to see it as an opportunity and not an obstacle, but easier said than done. It's easier to say it than do it in your real life, right? Good. So let's think about the future, and we probably will all have parties when this is finished. Speaking of, today we have an activity about parties. So we can learn some vocabulary for talking about parties. And then finally, in 1 month, we will be able to use this vocabulary when we go to parties. So focus activity 10 to 13, past perfect party. Okay. So to begin, in this focus activity, using past perfect to describe events, party lingo, expressing regret or relief using if only and I wish, and second and third conditionals. Okay, I got another comment. Elisabetta, yeah! This is the closest we will be to a real party for 23 days, so have fun with this, guys. I love the spirit. So let's talk about the past perfect. Can you give me an example of the past perfect or why we use the past perfect? You can write in the comments. There's a little pause on the comments, so you'll write the comment and I will see it 1 minute later. But give me an example of the past perfect and or tell me when and why we use the past perfect. Okay? While I wait for the comments to appear, I will also write a definition and an example. Okay. 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 So I will share my example and my definition. My example, before going to the party, I had bought some cute new clothes. Past perfect is used to describe something in the past that had happened before another event in the past. Let's see, we got some good definitions. Lucia, I had organized my studying when Italy stopped all of its activity. I think students who are graduating in this month are very frustrated at how this is going. Lavinia says, we use it to underline an action that happened before another action in the past. Very good, Lavinia. Good job, guys. Okay, so while I read these questions, you can write the answers to share your experiences, okay? So at a party, have you ever had a bad party experience? What is the worst party you've ever been to? What happened? Do you like birthday parties? If not, how do you prefer to celebrate your birthday? Have you ever woken up after being at a party the night before and not known where you were or how you got there? What did you do? Let's see. Me, I've had, again, if you want to answer or ask a question, just type in the comments, but I will also answer these questions. So me personally, I've never had a bad party experience, but I've had plenty of mediocre party experiences. Okay. Mediocre, do you know what it means? If something is mediocre, it means it's not so good. It's okay. Okay, not so great. So I've never had an explicitly bad party experience, but I've had plenty of mediocre party experiences where I got bored. The worst party I've ever been to, I don't know. Do you guys have like a worst party experience, or can you explain what happened? It's hard to pinpoint. Yeah, so Elisabetta asks, pronunciation, mediocre. Okay, you can repeat at home, mediocre. One more time, mediocre. Okay. Now, have you guys ever had a bad, or what's the worst party you've ever been to? Because it's hard for me to think of the worst party, but I can think of a lot of boring parties where I just wasn't enjoying myself. How about the second? Do you guys like birthday parties? And if not, how do you prefer to celebrate your birthday? Birthday parties, any opinions on birthday parties? Me, I like birthday parties if they are small and casual, but I don't like really extravagant, overly organized birthday parties. I much prefer a birthday party just at the park or in a friend's house with a few drinks, and it's very informal. That's my favorite version of a birthday party. Good. You guys, do you like birthday parties? Why not? How do you like to celebrate your birthday? And finally, have you ever woken up after being at a party the night before and not known where you were or how you got there? And what did you do? So any one of my viewers, has this ever happened to you where you forgot where you were? Let's see. We have an answer. Eladia went to a party with her best friend and she went away with a guy. So I was alone and all the people were drunk. Worst experience of my life. Aw, what a friend. Did she apologize after? That's terrible. Oh my God, Eladia. Absolutely. Good. Eladia, let's just remember, we would say worst experience with a T because we're talking about a superlative. It was the worst in absolutely. Okay. And I can believe it. That's terrible. That's so lonely. Me personally, I've never forgotten where I was. In English, we have the expression, when you get so drunk, you faint and forget everything. We can say to black out. So to black out is to faint and forget everything because you're so drunk. Okay? So have you ever blacked out? Me, fortunately, no, I have not. Okay? I know plenty of people who have. I think it's a rite of passage in Anglo-Saxon cultures, but fortunately, even though I'm American, I have never blacked out. Okay? Again, any questions, just type and I will answer. Okay, we have a question. Eladia, is it correct to say I had a hangover? Almost, very close. I had a hangover, okay? But yes, we would use this expression, okay? A hangover is when you drink too much and you suffer the consequences the day after, okay? That is a hangover. And we can use when you don't remember the PIN example. Like, I have a blackout, I don't remember the PIN. We can say, I've never used it and I've never heard it in this way. We can say, I'm blanking out. I'm blanking out. It's to suddenly forget something, okay? To suddenly forget a simple thing. Okay? Very often when we have to use our PIN code for credit cards, typically we memorize our PIN code and it's not a problem. But suddenly you don't remember, you forgot, you say, I'm blanking out. I can't remember my PIN. Okay? But yes, very good, Elisabetta. Okay. So life of the party. What type of party goer are you? So as I read these, if you have an idea for a definition, you can write the definition in the comments, okay? So killjoy, wallflower, party animal, party pooper, dancing diva, party crasher. And what do you think each of these mean? Okay, so Elisabetta answers, I stay in the corner and drink a lot. Good, you stay in the corner. There is one of these vocabulary words actually refers to that type of behavior at a party, okay? Any idea which it is? When you stay in the corner and you don't talk to anyone at a party? It's a wallflower, okay? Anyone else? What type of party goer are you? Or can you write the definition of some of these vocabulary words? The first, killjoy. Do you get a positive or a negative feeling from this word? Killjoy. It doesn't sound very positive, does it? A killjoy is someone who tries to ruin the fun or just wants to be bored, okay? Good. Giovanni says negative. So for me, a killjoy is someone who just wants to be bored or wants to be boring at a party. Okay? Again, we said Elisabetta is a wallflower at parties, okay? A wallflower is someone who prefers to stay on the side and not be very social at an event, okay? So let me write. Okay. Do we have any other wallflowers? Sometimes for me, it depends. Sometimes I can be a wallflower if I don't know very many people at the party. And other times I can be the life of the party if I know a lot of people. Now, a party animal. Any ideas what this means? A party animal? Now let's think about an animal. Giovanni's not. Good. Giovanni says, I'm not. Oh, Eladia says, I think I'm a party animal because I love parties and I love dancing and enjoying myself. Elisabetta says, a party animal is people that like to party a lot. Yeah, good. So, people who like to party a lot. Okay. In English, to party as a verb. So the verb to party implies someone who likes to go crazy and have fun and is always at a party, is always drinking. So to party is to go to parties and to have fun, but in a really wild way, okay? In a wild or intense way. All right. Very good. So a party animal parties a lot. Lucia asks, can I use wallflower for being in the corner to speak with only one person? Yes. Yeah. So not necessarily that you're alone, but just that you don't like to be the center of attention. Okay. Good. Next thing is a party pooper. What do you think a party pooper is? This is a very strange expression, but one of my favorite words in English. A party pooper, someone who doesn't like to go to parties or to have fun. Okay? So a party pooper, someone who doesn't like to go to parties or to have fun. The next one is very simple. A dancing diva. I think, who was it? Eladia, for example, could be a dancing diva. What is a dancing diva? A dancing diva is someone who loves to dance. Okay? Very simple. Let's see. Giovanni says, I'm a dancing diva at the disco. Yeah, okay, good. In English, the word disco refers to the type of dance from the 1970s, okay? So in English, the word disco has a different meaning. We prefer the word club, okay? Club is a place to dance. So Giovanni is a dancing diva at the club, okay? And again, disco, type of dance from the 1970s, okay? Very good, guys. And lastly, a party crasher. This one is difficult. A party crasher. Any ideas? You can write, okay? But I'll also write the definition. Okay, thanks. English teachers aren't good in Italy. You blame your English teachers. Let's see. Elisabetta asks, but can we use for men too? Yes. Okay. It refers to anyone. And when we talk about men as a dancing diva, it's just funny, okay? But we use it for men as well. Good. So a party crasher is someone who comes to a party that they're not invited to. Okay. So, have you ever crashed a party? Have you ever gone to a party where you weren't invited? Me, I have definitely crashed parties, okay? Or there's a famous movie with Vince Vaughn called Wedding Crashers, right? It's a movie about two men who go to weddings that they are not invited to in order to pick up the women at the weddings, okay? So that's where this term comes from. Elisabetta says, of course, everyone has crashed a party, right? That's what parties are about. Very good, guys. So the definitions. First, what type of party goer are you? So tell me in the comments, what type of party goer are you? Are you a killjoy or someone who deliberately spoils the enjoyment of others? Are you a wallflower, a shy or secluded person? Are you a party animal or a very gregarious and outgoing person who enjoys parties? Are you a party pooper or a person who throws gloom over social enjoyment? Are you a dancing diva or the center of attention on the dance floor? Or are you a party crasher, someone who attends a party he wasn't invited to? Me, I'm definitely a party crasher. I always go to parties that I'm not invited to. Ilaria says, I met my ex-boyfriend because he was a party crasher at her 18th birthday. That's the way to meet. Nice. Giovanni sometimes crashes parties. Ilaria asks, what does secluded mean? Secluded means isolated, okay? So there we go. Secluded, isolated. Giovanni is definitely a party animal. Very good. Okay. Good job, guys. Again, if you have any questions, just type in the comments. Let's see, other vocabulary. Gloom. What is gloom? Any idea? Gloom. Thanks, Giovanni. Gloom is sadness, depression, okay? Yeah, so Lavinia wrote sadness. Very good. Gloom is sadness, okay? Lucia writes, she thinks that she's a wallflower because she uses the party to chat with people that I don't meet often. Yeah, very good. I think parties should be about socializing, about communicating, right? And then drinking also, right? Very good, guys. The drunk wallflower. Elisabetta is a drunk wallflower. So Elisabetta secludes herself from other people in order to drink. Very good. Okay, very good, guys. So, here, I'm going to skip this slide because I don't think it's necessary. Okay. Actually, you know what? Let's go back. Let's do that slide. Okay, so Connor held a surprise party for Louise, but it was a total disaster. Match the problems with what happened, okay? Okay, wait, Giovanni wrote also, I hate communicating with people during a party because the music is too high. Yeah, I agree. I hate it when the music is too loud. So let's remember the structure. Hate, ing. I hate communicating. Yeah, I hate talking to people when the music is too loud too. It's very awkward. It's embarrassing for me, right? So, not many guests, no birthday cake, nothing to drink, no presents, no music, no new clothes to wear. Why did these happen? Didn't go grocery shopping, forgot to send invitations, didn't go to the shop, DJ had an accident, bakery was closed, didn't tell people it was a birthday party. Okay, let's see. First, Elisa asks, party pooper, is party pooper positive or negative? Party pooper is a negative thing. So it's when you don't like to have fun. You just want to be bored, okay? It's a very negative thing. We often use the term party pooper to make fun of other people, okay? So there weren't many guests because they forgot to send invitations. There was no birthday cake because the bakery was closed. There was nothing to drink because they didn't go grocery shopping. There were no presents because they didn't tell people it was a birthday party. There was no music because the DJ had an accident. And there were no new clothes to wear because they didn't go to the shop. What kind of party are they planning? They're out of their minds. Okay. So this is where we introduce the past perfect, okay? Imagine you are Connor. Write about the birthday party. Use the past simple tense to talk about the problems and the past perfect to explain what had happened. What else might have gone wrong? So, for example, there weren't many guests because I had forgotten to send out the invitations. Let's see, we have a question from Ilaria. What is grocery shopping? Grocery shopping is to go to the supermarket to buy food and essential items, okay? So in English, it's more common to say go grocery shopping than go to the supermarket, okay? All right, thank you for the question, Eladia. Okay, good. All right. So let's see. Can you choose one of these things and tell me why it happened? Again, they give the example. There weren't many guests because I had forgotten to send out the invitations. So first part, past simple. Okay. Second part, past perfect. In the meantime, I'll write one example while I wait for your examples, okay? Be creative. Okay, so I will share my example. I didn't have, past simple, any new clothes to wear because the shops had been closed for the quarantine. Not yet, but potentially they will be. Okay? See, again, give me other examples and I'll wait for the comments to appear. Okay, I'll write another example. Because okay, let's see. Eladia says, we can say we didn't have a cake because he is a bad cook and he had burnt the cake. Yeah, so let me write, we didn't have a cake because he is a bad cook. Okay. So he had burnt the cake. Perfect. In English, a cook is the person. All right. And the cooker is the object that you use to cook. Okay. So on the cooker, we can cook eggs, we can cook pasta. Okay. Let's see, we have lots of examples coming in. There wasn't any music at the party because the DJ had forgotten the party. Good. So let's remember, there wasn't any music. Okay, so music is singular. So we have to say there wasn't any. Let's see. Elisa says, again, there wasn't any music because the neighbors hadn't allowed us to play the music. Okay, so we have to complete it. Hadn't allowed us to have music, hadn't allowed us to play music. Okay. Let's see. Giovanni says there wasn't any good music because the DJ had sent, okay, so here active, not passive. The DJ had sent his brother instead of him, okay, good. There wasn't any, you guys like the music one. There wasn't any music because I had broken my music box. Here we would say my radio, okay? Music box is something different. So let's remember to talk about the past. There wasn't and there weren't any, okay? Always. Okay. There wasn't any, or there weren't any. Okay. There weren't any for plural. There wasn't any for singular. Good. Guys, continue to give me examples, all right? Let's work on this a little bit. There wasn't any, there weren't any. Give me another example, okay? Let's see. I already wrote a different example. The venue was too small because we hadn't visited it before, so we didn't know it was too small, right? Good. Or I'll give an example with there wasn't or there weren't. But again, continue to write me more examples, more comments. This is good, okay? Elisa says, there wasn't anything to drink because I had wanted a non-alcoholic party. Very good. Yeah, very good, Elisa. And I'm thinking... let's see. We have Lavinia and I had the same idea. There weren't any presents because everyone had been tight-fisted. Yes, actually very good. Very good, Lavinia. I also wrote, there weren't any presents because the guests hadn't thought to bring them. Okay, Eladia, there weren't any presents because his friends had spent all their money in alcohol. Very good, guys, much better. Applause, applause, perfect grammar. You're basically native speakers now. Okay, so an appalling affair. Appalling is disgusting, okay? An appalling affair. So, have you ever planned an event that turned out to be disastrous? What happened? Can you think of synonyms for the word disastrous? So let's do some adjectives, some vocabulary exercises. So what are some synonyms for disastrous that you can think of? Before I show the answers, I want to see what you think. Write some synonyms for disastrous. YouTube will not permit me to write the word disgusting in the comments because they think it's spam. So appalling means disgusting. I can't write it. Thank you, YouTube. You're protecting us from the worst things, right? So Lavinia says, disastrous, a mess. Very good. Elisabetta, to mess something up. Very good. Elisa, very close. Catastrophic. Okay. Catastrophic. Okay. And good. So let's look at some synonyms. Did you think of any of the following? Catastrophic. Eladia says a catastrophe. Very good. So similar to catastrophic. Gaia says tragic. Good. Yes. So you guys read my mind. Catastrophic. Tragic. Devastating. Harmful. Detrimental. Calamitous. Ruinous. Dire. Shocking. Dreadful. Unfortunate. Injurious. Appalling. Grievous. Cataclysmic. Inauspicious. Unfavorable. Awful. Ravaging. Adverse. And ill-fated. Okay? Are any of these new, or did you know some of these? Do you think some are strange or very interesting? I personally like the word calamitous. Calamitous is just the most extravagant word. Good. Again, any questions? Type in the comments, okay? Now let's talk, before we finish, a bit about conditionals. What would you do in each of these disastrous situations? How would you feel? Use the second or third conditional to answer. Example, you are at a wedding and accidentally fall into the cake. You are in a canoe on the lake and your oars fall in the water. Let's see. Elisa G says, what is a pickle? A pickle, if you are in a pickle, it means you're having problems, you're having complications, okay? Be in a pickle, to have complications or problems. Okay. Thank you, Elisa. In a pickle. Let's look at one more. You have just missed the last bus home with an armful of groceries. An armful is when literally your arms are full of bags. Your arms are full of something, okay? So to give an example, let's use the second or third conditional to talk about the consequences of this. If and if you have other examples, please write for any of these three situations. If I were at a wedding and I accidentally fell into the cake, I would feel humiliated. Okay. Let's see. Serena changed it a little bit. Serena says, if I hadn't gone to the wedding, I wouldn't have fallen into the cake. Good. So this is an example of the third conditional. Very good, Serena. My example, if I were at a wedding and I accidentally fell into the cake, I would feel humiliated. Okay. Examples with the second and the third. Elisabetta says, if I were in the canoe on the lake now, I would be happy. Me too. I would much prefer to be on the lake in a canoe, peaceful, but we are here, right? Okay. Very good, guys. So I'm going to start to end the activity, but you did so well. Thank you for coming. Again, it's the only party we will be having for another month. So I will see you hopefully at the next webinar. Be sure to be updated on when the activities for your level are. And I hope to see you next time and eventually in person in school. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. Bye-bye.